Sergeant Rooker, what's the situation?
We're not sure yet. Officers Tobin and Bale from Central were answering a code 30 Adam. The officers approached the warehouse and found the front entrance door open. As they were entering the building, they were fired upon. Bale was shot in the face. Tobin apparently grabbed Bale, dragged him around to the back of the building, and called for assistance. By the time assistance arrived, the firing from within had subsided. Bale's en route to the hospital, and Tobin's standing by to provide information. We're hearing random shots fired. We've set up communications in the ice building.
The owner's here.
Come on.
Well, of course, I don't want any more damage to occur than already has.
Mrs. Schneibly, this is Sergeant Rooker. Would you mind repeating to him what you just told me?
Well, yes, of course. Hello, I'm Marcia Schneibly. I own this building. Well, the business does. I was just telling this officer here that, well, my warehouseman is missing. And when the police called this morning and said something about someone shooting off guns in my warehouse, well, I thought, oh, where's Hector? I mean, he's a diligent employee. He would not just allow someone to come in and shoot up my building.
Mrs. Schneibly, do you think it could be Hector firing off these weapons?
Well, heaven's sake, no. Hector is a sweet young man. A little slow, maybe, but mentally challenged, but not...
Rooker, Packmeyer.
Would you please excuse us, Mrs. Schneibly? Please finish what you were saying to this officer here. Thank you.
Mrs. Schneibly, you were saying that you believe your warehouseman is missing?
Believe he is missing? Why, I should say so. Hector reports to work Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. He is a very dependable employee. Why, in 5 years of working for us, he has never missed a day.
Mrs. Schneibly, what's Hector's full name, and can you give me a physical description?
Oh, yes, it's Hector Martinez, and he's about 6 feet tall, about 180 pounds, clean-shaven, dark hair. I don't know how old he is. Like I said before, he's a little bit mentally challenged. He's simple. Well, have you seen that movie, Forrest Gump? That's the way he is. That's the way he is. Forrest Gump wouldn't hurt anybody, and neither would Hector hurt anybody.
Mrs. Schneibly, nobody says Hector has or would hurt anybody. Up until now, we didn't even know about Mr. Martinez. We're just trying to determine what the situation is. Mrs. Schneibly, would you have a home phone number for Mr. Martinez?
Well, yes. Well, not with me at the office. I mean, I'd have to call to get it.
Can you give me a layout of the warehouse?
Oh, well, yes. Well, it's mostly a big, empty building. We keep it for extra storage, and Hector maintains the building for when we need extra space. Well, that's not what you asked, is it? Oh, well, let's see. Okay, the building was built to utilize the train tracks. And so the roll-up doors and the entrance face the railroad tracks. And when you walk in, well, it's just a big open building. I have some furniture stored in there from when the children were small, and my husband and the boys have some mini bikes in there as well.
Is there just one large room?
Oh, no, there are 2 large rooms upstairs. Well, the second room, I don't know, it has some old scales. Junk, really. Nothing important.
You said upstairs. Is there a downstairs to the building as well?
Oh, yes. Didn't I mention that? Well, it's mostly just beams and floor supports. And Hector has his little makeshift office down there. Nothing fancy.
Is there an outside entrance to the basement, Mrs. Schneibly?
Oh, heavens, no. No, I had that sealed up years ago. You know, we have trouble with hobos here. I mean, they ride the train in the day and at night stop and look for a place to sleep. Well, we literally had a hobo camp down there. No, I had workmen come and cement and brick up that door. No, do you know what it does to your insurance rates when you have hobos in your building? Just terrible. No, there's only one entrance to the basement, and it's through the warehouse. I don't remember if the stairs are in the first room or the second room. Does that matter?
Mr. Schneibly, is there a phone line in the building, and do you know the number?
Oh, yes. I know. The number is 213-298... No, 213-289... No, I'll just have to call and get it for you. But there is a phone. It's in Hector's little basement office area. You know, I wanted him to have a nice little desk with a phone on it upstairs. But no, he insisted on having the phone installed downstairs in the basement, that dark, dank basement.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the warehouse or about Hector?
Nothing I can think of. It's just a big warehouse that's empty, and Hector is just a simple man trying to make a living. I can't understand how he could be causing all this trouble. It's just not like him.
Mrs. Schneibly, we haven't determined that Hector is causing all this trouble. Mrs. Schneibly, we've set up a communications post over by the ice house across the way. Could I ask you to go in there and use the telephone to call your office and get those phone numbers we talked about?
Oh, well, sure, but I don't want to be in the way. I'll just use the phone in my car if that's all right.
That'd be fine.
This is Officer Keeler. He was one of the responding officers to the 30 Atom.
As I was telling Packmeyer, we get false alarms down here all the time. The wind's always blowing the doors open on these old buildings, or we have transients camping out. Last thing I expected was gunfire.
Did you see anyone?
No, not really. Everything happened real quick. We were approaching the door. It was partially open. Bales went to reach for it. He had his hand on the doorknob. It seemed to me that the door was closing rather than opening. I got this sinking feeling in my stomach, and then wham! Bales was hit, and I was dragging him out of there.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, officer, what did you learn from the owner of the property?
Well, the name of the missing warehouseman is Hector Martinez. He works Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., hasn't missed a day of work in 5 years. He's about 6 feet tall, weighs about 180 pounds, clean-shaven, dark hair. Now, she says he's mentally challenged. She's going to call her office and get a home telephone number for him.
Good.
She also said that the building was built in relation to the railroad. All the roll-up doors and the entrance door are on the same side only. She said that there are 2 large interior rooms, mostly empty.
Okay.
There's also a basement to the building. It houses Hector's office and apparently some beams and floor supports.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Mrs. Schneibly doesn't recall if the stairs leading to the basement are on the first room or the second room.
I see.
Apparently, there is a telephone line into the building. It's in the basement. She doesn't know the number offhand. She's calling her office to find it.
Good.
One last thing. Mrs. Schneibly said that Hector's not the kind of person to hurt anybody, and she doesn't think it's him in there firing the rounds.
Well, we'll find that out soon enough. Thanks. Good job.
All I'm saying is there's one entrance, the front. Saunders and Tello were placed across the railroad tracks to cover us. But that's a distance, man.
I bet they panicked when Central showed up. I bet they're in there freaking out.
This isn't gonna be pretty.
I figured there's more than one in there. Maybe it's a soured robbery.
The place is big inside. I know it. I can tell. We're gonna need some long-range power.
The place is too big to gas. I don't see how we could gas it.
Briefing, everyone. Come on, let's go.
Okay, this is what we know. We have 1 wounded officer, and weapons fire is randomly erupting from within the structure. CNT's been telephoning the warehouse, but there's been no pickup.
The warehouse is broken into 2 rooms. In one of the rooms, which one we don't know, are stairs leading to a basement. The basement is dark, and it consists mainly of floor supports. There's also an office area. We've placed sniper teams on 3 surrounding buildings. The approach will be from side 4 to 3 to 2, around to side 1. We can assume the opening 1 will be secured. We have the keys from the owner, so there should not be a problem with entry unless the door is barricaded from the inside. We know it's a large space, so we're issuing 223s. Fats in the fire. Packmeyer, let's light them up.
We enter and move with stealth. Carmichael, scout. Denton, shotgun. Pup, you're being issued the M16 for range. If there's a distance between us and the shooter, and Pup has the shot, it's his. Rhea, Wixel, you're in on the entry, you trail. Okay? Let's move out.
Entry team in position. High ground 1. Side 1 clear of threat. Roger that. Ready, go!
Hold. Try the door. Try the key. Mirror up. Entry team ready to make entry. Ready to enter door. Go! Entry team in. Entry team in position. Pop! Where? Go. Mirror up. Looks clear. Stairwell, far right wall, no sign of Gray. Pop, you cover left. Rhea, Wixel, you take the stairwell. Carmichael Denton, you move left with me. Ready to make entry? Go! Hold. Carmichael, mirror that area to the left.
Clear.
Ready to move? Go.
Let me see your hands!
Okay, this is it. This is my ticket out here, and I'll use it, man.
Go now!
I will. No! You put your gun down.
Put the gun down.
No,
Listen
you
to
ain't
me.
going out without me.
Put the gun down.
No, you put
Let
yours
him
down.
go.
No, this is it. This is
Let
it.
him
This
go
is all
now.
it is.